by the way.
Can we talk about Commissioner Ears real quick, please? And this nonsense about how, the media that covers the league needs to be more positive, and that's how we could go about improving the NBA.
It's interesting. Your companies enjoy basketball. And I mean, I respect the job the media does. And it's not a suggestion that people shouldn't ask tough questions or be critical or talk about things they don't like about the game. But I would say, and it goes exactly to your production company, Enjoy Basketball, that sometimes I think they don't spend enough time talking about why people love this game. And, recently I was at a meeting with Mike Krzyzewski, former coach at Duke, and he condensed it with this headline. He said we should educate people about the game and celebrate the game. Educate and celebrate. And I feel, I wish there was more of that.
I'm telling you now that Adam Silver's the problem in the NBA. Adam Silver's a problem. Adam Silver wants to talk about the media instead of talking about the fact that he has a lack of personalities. Adam Silver wants to talk about the media, not singing the praises of the NBA, because it's a dreadful regular season product right now. And it's because you don't have a dynamic personality. And I will continue to die on this hill. If Cooper Flagg does not come into this league and light this place on fire, the NBA is in real trouble. And I say that because Victor Wembanyama, who's one of the brightest stars in all of sports, has zero personality.
Victor's the way.
Mainly because he doesn't speak great English. And whether it was Yao Ming, who I think was a fantastic star in this league, even though he was always hurt, he delivered you the Pacific Rim, which you badly needed and you still have. Victor Wembanyama doesn't deliver you anything because he's not compelling. He's not a great story. I look at guys like Luka Doncic, who should be the future face of this league. He's not somebody that you're going to gravitate to and attach yourself to. And so now you're going to lose Bron, you're going to lose Steph, you're going to lose a generation of stars here, and you're going to leave this league to
Anthony Edwards,
the great seed spreader Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum. You're going to leave this league to guys like Ja Morant, whose shoes don't sell, and he loves his grenade celebration only because they won't let him make the pew-pew sign anymore with his hands, right? Like, this league has a real problem with gravitational superstars post Steph and LeBron. And they're desperate for Cooper Flagg to be everything that Zion Williamson was not.
I agree with all of that 100%. I also think we can't lose sight of the fact that Steph, LeBron, Durant, like Dwayne Wade, like these guys were all Hall of Fame caliber players and all were huge personalities. And I do think some of this is the NBA just enjoyed a golden era. Like, you enjoyed an era where you were loaded for a long time. Like, and this goes all the way back, obviously, to when Kobe was around and when you had like biggest of big stars in this league. And I think that I don't disagree that my generation and the generation after that basketball player is not nearly as personality driven as those guys were and still are right now. So the question really is, like, if you were to, let's say you fire, Commissioner Silver and you replace him with whoever, is that what will drive, would a new commissioner be able to, drive initiatives in the league that force the personalities out of these guys? I mean,
but how are you ever going to get, who's the best player? Take out LeBron James. It's probably Nikola Jokic.
Probably
in Denver. Are you excited about anything other than his brothers beating people's ass in the first row? I'm not. Like,
Nicole, drop that mother.
Look, Nikola Jokic didn't even want to go to the parade. Dude was like, I need to go give birth to sheep on my farm back in Istan. Don't give a rat's ass about the NBA parade, Istan.
I need to go home.
Right? Like the guy is like, dude, I want to go home. I don't want to be here.
No.
That's not the face of the NBA.
Who is the best player in the league that actually has a personality? Because that's the thing. I legitimately think, all jokes aside, the great seed spreader, Anthony Edwards, right now is the biggest personality.
He's unlikable.
Well, but that's what the league needs. The
Maybe.
league needs a villain. The league needs somebody who, because that's what ultimately led to the Bron versus, the world thing for the league, right? LeBron James and whoever he had on his team, whether it was J.R. Smith or Dwayne Wade or whoever you want to point to, whichever teams, versus the Warriors, versus the Celtics, but versus young Jason Tatum.
Even the best players in this league. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is leading the league in scoring in the postseason. Absolutely a 0.
And what's the narrative about Giannis? He's leaving Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's a 0.
Right now, he's a 0, yes.
And you can go up and down. Jalen Brunson, I don't know. I think he's moot.
Yes.
I don't think he has a voice box. Paolo Banchero, Luka Hookah, Anthony Edwards.
Well, what you need is
Excuse me.
You need guys like Cade Cunningham to come forward.
No,
more.
you need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to be out in front, but he's mute, right?
Yeah. I don't disagree, dude.
The best personality here on that list, I don't even argue that it's Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
But he's a great personality about? He's got, 5 kids by 4 different women? I mean, get the guy a condom
can we get a Trojan deal here?
Are you out of your mind? Going up and down. You tell me, who's the great personality in the top 20 scorers in the postseason? Derek White, James Harden, Pascal Siakam, Tyler Hero, Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Cade Cunningham, Franz Wagner, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Edwards, Luka Hookah, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brunson, and Giannis.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
I don't know either. This league doesn't have stars anymore. Steph is great. LeBron's great. 3 years from now, will either of them still be playing in the NBA?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Facial recognition.
And then what? Because it's great that you're pounding like a porn star and you're making babies. I need you to not do the Tyreek Hill route.
Bruh.
How long until Anthony Edwards is hanging his kid over a balcony?
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip.
Just a tip, Anthony, for you. Put on a Jimmy and not a Butler.
Hot ass.
That's the problem with this league. Victor Wembanyama is wonderfully talented. Nobody gives a rat's ass outside of San Antonio if the guy speaks and when he speaks.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
This league needed Zion Williamson to be the next Jordan, to be the next LeBron, to be the next.
You got to get stroked.
It better be Cooper Flagg, or this league's going the way of the Anaheim. We want to be called LA Angels.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm not exaggerating. There is the attention span of sports fans in this country is that of a gnat. If it's compelling, I'm watching.
Via social media.
If it's not, I'm not. Yeah. If I'm not getting on SportsCenter Top 10, and if there's no great NBA Insta Snap Face X reel to watch, I'm probably not knowing who you are. And in all seriousness, it's April 28th. When's the last time Victor Wembanyama was relevant? Months. It feels like months.
Yeah.
It feels like less than a year, but could be close. That's the problem in this league.
Yeah, dude. That's
the problem. Brandon Butler ain't trying to get those new tax credits. That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
Big Daddy Magic. Victor has a personality. He's just much classier than anybody else. Everybody else, he's a beautiful face of the NBA.
He's not the face of the NBA.
Dude, and Big Daddy Magic, I get it. You love the guy, and he is a 0.
We're trying to have a real conversation here, dude. He's not the face.
He's a 0. He's a great basketball player. Nobody doubts that. He's a 0. But Brandon Butler, they need to fix the product. Half the league is openly losing for from the moment they tip. I don't disagree with that. I think the draft lottery's got to go away. I don't know.
I agree.
How you. Maybe it should be top to bottom wins and losses. Why don't we have this problem in the NFL? Why don't we have this problem in...
Well, we don't have this problem in the NFL because, frankly, more people watch the NFL.
And you make exponentially more money when you win. The problem is you have revenue sharing and guaranteed contracts in the NBA.
Yeah.
If you want to fix the problem, and you're not... The horse is way out of the barn, dude. You're not fixing the guaranteed contract problem. And I think it's the single biggest problem. They're getting paid whether they win or lose. In the NFL, if you don't win and you don't get playoff and Super Bowl shares,
dude said, Will, right? Hey, if you give up 1 sack a game, you're not going to play on Sundays.
But if you get 1 sack a game, you're going to be one of the best paid players in the NFL.
And I think you're spot on. I think it's one of the key differences.
Yes.
Is this apathy, this indifference to winning is very clear. And again, just so we're on the same page, I don't have an issue with dudes making money.
No,
right? No problem with it. Make all your money. You are if you're playing in the NBA, dude, you've got God-given talent that I will never understand. I will never know what it's like to dunk in the NBA, but you do. So you should get paid for that.
Yeah.
The problem is that when we take it too far and we abuse that privilege of playing in the NBA and we don't appreciate what it means to live that lifestyle. And I think that's probably the biggest difference is that now we're in a place where guys like LeBron and Steph and whoever you want to point to have laid the foundation, right? They have built the yellow brick road, and now all you got to do is walk down it. You don't have to concern yourself with winning championships. Right? It's the Devin Booker issue, right? It's what bothers me so much. I love the guy, but what do you mean you want to be a one-team athlete? Does winning not matter to you? Does legacy not matter to you?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's funny. A friend of mine is texting me saying at least Yao Ming made them money in China and Japan and Vietnam. Victor Wembanyama doesn't make you money anywhere because the French market is useless, and I don't disagree with that. If he was Australian, but they're not trying to leverage the French market. I think that's a great point.
By the way, is Joel Embiid not one of the biggest personalities we have that we haven't heard from in how long due to injury?
He's always hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think jersey sales are cool, but you need your best players to be on good teams that win.
I think one of the other big differences in today's game, when we talk about not just like X's and O's basketball, but like this personality conversation, is Jordans are already a thing, right? Like there's no, like, Michael Jordan had this cool thing where he was not only the best player, but he was revolutionizing the shoe game. So you had a reason to follow him off the floor. What reason do I have to follow you off the floor? What is my motivation to want to understand what Ja Morant's doing in the club with his gun, right? What is my motivation to want to know what Ant's doing or what any of these dudes are doing off the floor? What is my
motivation to know what Victor Wembanyama is doing today?
Yeah, like Cooper Flagg gave me a reason because he made the USA select team. So I'm like, all right, cool. I want to watch this. I want to see what this guy's really got against some of the best players in the world. And so then it's like, all right, my brain immediately transitions to golf because I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, wow, man, we get a lot of access to golfers, right? Like we kind of know their family. Typically a golfer's wife has her own Instagram account where she details all their travel and you can kind of get behind the scenes look. They play golf with hacks on YouTube. I can buy your shoes. And the difference is I just don't feel like I can relate to LeBron the way I could with like Kobe or like.
But look at Devin Booker. That's a great example.
Yeah.
I love Devin Booker as a player. I bought one pair of his shoes because they look like Cortez's. I couldn't even tell you what shoe Victor wears. But funny enough.
Yeah, so let's talk about this.
What do I have? I think this is part and parcel of this conversation.
It's a great example, dude.
Kobe Bryant's shoe. Right? And we talked about this on the show last week. I bought a pair of shoes from essentially the factory that makes Nikes.
So remember the background when then this story, how old this story is.
All of the tariffs, and this is probably 3 weeks old. I get online, I go to they claim to be a factory for Nike. And they have all these shoes. And this shoe right here is a $600 shoe on StockX. Why would I have to go to StockX? Because they don't make them anymore. So I buy them. They never charge my card. There's a hold on it. Disappears. Last Thursday, I got an email. Hey, the authorization fell off for the payment of your shoes. Can you please resend it? And I actually said to the guy, no, I'm not going to do that because you haven't mailed me. You haven't seen anything. It's, oh, they're going to be, he says to me, they're going to be delivered today. Here's the tracking number. And he sends me a FedEx tracking number. And this is what showed up. An authentic Nike Kobe box. And a pair of...
You got to think of that up, bro.
And a pair of Kobe Bryant shoes that are no longer available in the United States. But apparently, when you run the factory in China, you can get these. And I want to show you. There's the label, man. Like,
that is an authentic Nike
this
product.
is an authentic, and I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's a label inside the shoe right there. That white label right there almost solidifies that it is authentic in every way, shape, and form. This is a $600 shoe on StockX. I paid $170 for it. Really, $120 plus.
When was this
$35
shoe new?
in
12 years ago?
Yeah, when was
what was the release date on the Kobe 4?
It was, man, the Kobe 4 release.
It's got to be 15 years old.
It has to be 15 years old at a minimum. At a minimum, it is the Protro. Excuse me.
First Kobe 4 release, not this colorway, but the first one was in 2008.
And the first thing that comes up is the StockX listing for this exact shoe right here. And it is $600. It's wild to me. $599.99. And they range on StockX depending on the colorway from $200 to $1,190.
We had multiple pairs of these back in the day when they released and played.
$739 for this exact colorway. Like, it's wild.
It's incredible.
So, but the point is, this guy's dead.
Yeah, dude.
And he's been dead for a number of years. But it's Kobe, and I'm still on the Kobe grind.
In other words, it stands for something bigger.
Yes.
And I don't know what Book, Ant, Tatum, Brown, Victor, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. I don't know what these guys stand for off the floor.
You even got the card. You even got the Kobe
there is
card.
no question that this is an authentic Nike product.
It's wild to me.
Yeah, no question about it. It's got everything it had before. The box looks exactly how it should look.
It's
like
a Kobe
everything.
box. It's got
everything, dude. No question about it. And I'm guessing, and this is just a guess on my part, but we were looking at these shoes, and you won't be able to see it on camera, but they have a slight blemish here.
There's a rub mark. There's a rub mark on the left shoe, the left toe of the left.
And like
the
the
toe
box
of the left
has
shoe.
like a slight defect. So I'm guessing that in this factory, this is a legitimate Nike factory where they have overflow stock of shoes and the tariffs.
I sent you the
I
website link.
I still have it. Yeah.
And you would be stunned at the quality and the price of the shoe that is on that website.
So my whole point is I would never do this, with all due respect to Book. I'm not buying Devin Booker's shoe. He's not that impactful in my life. I'm not buying Anthony Edwards' shoe. I'm not buying.
Again, I don't even know what Victor wears.
God forbid I would ever look at Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, because I would never buy either.
And
of
I think
shoes.
JT's a Jordan athlete.
Jordan brand. Never buying Zion's shoe. Like I wouldn't buy Zion's shoe on premise alone. Like, just because of the way he's lived his life and the decisions he's made. And so it brings me back full circle to put a bow around this. it brings me back to, hey, bro, I've bought multiple Bron shoes. I've bought multiple Kevin Durant shoes. I have owned.
I still buy Jordans
in my life. I mean, how many KDs do you think we've bought? Probably
a dozen.
I mean, in total number, probably a dozen. But I'm just thinking over his different models. He's got so many now, but probably 5 different models of KD.
Yeah.
I loved his shoe. And you know, in recent times, I bought the original version of the GT Cup because it was the closest thing we had to a Kobe when we used to play basketball. So my point is that today's player does not have that impact on me that generation did. And Adam Silver bitching about the media, talking about enjoyment of the game. Bro, we're not here for the enjoyment of the game. I'm here to see how Chuck and Shaq are going to troll today's player with a porta potty on set.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I think the NBA is in a very precarious situation.
And you know what the real problem is too? I used to watch the NBA like literally every night.
Every night.
Like religiously. Now, a couple things have changed, right? In all fairness, total transparency, right? At that time I was single, like life was simpler. I had time to watch it. We did, at that time during the show, we did a lot more NBA because it was more relevant. So like a couple of factors there. But I've gone from watching it every night and being a League Pass guy to frankly not paying for League Pass anymore and just watching the national game and following along with the other games that maybe are relevant.
Yeah.
That's your problem, dude. So I would say you have to change commissioners. I would agree the horse has left the stable like 18 years ago now on the guaranteed contract situation. You're not fixing that.
Never.
And this whole thing about tournaments and All-Star weekend, bro, can we please just get back to the schoolyard feel of East versus West?
I don't even mind. I'll be honest. I don't even mind letting the 2 captains pick the teams, the 2 top vote getters. Okay, great. I don't want this nonsense with concerts and DJs, and
it's too much.
I like the All-Star Saturday night, the dunk contest, the 3-point shootout, the skills competition. Take it or leave it.
But like the CP3 and Victor skills competition, that's embarrassing for the league, dude. That is absolute. Like, with all due respect to Mac McClung, because I love his story, love what he's about. All due respect to you, bro. You're a G League player that shows up once a year because none of the NBA guys want to do the dunk contest. Which again, I'm sitting here saying problem. One of the reasons I love Jordan 5s is because dude is on a poster dunking in Jordan 5s right here.
Yes, Jeff Woodworth. The NHL playoffs have been significantly more entertaining.
And aren't they always? See, this is another part of the conversation. Dude, I'm watching Canes and Devils. I believe it was last night or 2 nights ago. In overtime, I believe it was, and like it's coming down to it. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, bro, like I can turn on a playoff hockey game and it doesn't matter who the teams are.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Yep, totally agree. All right, let's get your comments into the comments section. Who do you believe is the face of the NBA? I don't know. At this moment, I think it's Steph Curry, and I'm not sure it's close. LeBron, to me, has never been the guy that wants to stand out front and be the face of the league.
Right.
I can't even think of who else it would be. I think right now it's Steph Curry. Let's get your thoughts on that next after this from the Advocates.
When you've been injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate, because every accident has a ripple effect. It affects your time, your health, your ability to make money, everything. That's where the Advocates can help. Speaking with an attorney is simple and 100% free. We're available 24/7 for your convenience, and we'll take on the claims process so you can rest easy. Because you're not just a client to us, you're a person, and you deserve the best help you can get. You deserve an advocate.